Oh, okay. Let's start for some. GOP plan redefines dependent child as under 7, but adds loopholes for married couples. House Republicans, intent on increasing work requirements for assistance programs like the Supplemental Nutrients Assistance Program, or SNAP, and promoting marriage, have devised a new definition for dependent child. Currently, an adult has a dependent child if that child is under 18 years of age. Under the new proposed House definition for SNAP, once the child turns 7, usually someone in 2nd grade, they could no longer be considered a dependent with no exceptions. The new House proposal also adds 10 years to the time when the adults need to continue working in order to receive SNAP benefits, from 54 to 64 years of age. However, it removes the work requirement if the adult with the dependent child is married and lives with someone who already complies with new regulations. Unmarried couples with a child would not qualify for the exemption. The new proposal would be part of Republicans' legislation that would provide $4.5 trillion in tax cuts, largely benefiting the wealthy. So check it out. Single mothers is who they're attacking right now.
Yeah.
Because if you're married, you have 2 incomes and you don't need to be on SNAP. Ask anybody, bro. They'll tell you, a lot of people be like, hey, man,
in the marriage,
they'd be like, I make $100 too much to be able to get SNAP benefits. And people are struggling. So if you're a single mother, once your kid hits 2nd grade, you're kicked off. You can't get it no more.
I mean, this is like you call people monsters. These people who are in the in our government right now, from the White House to the House to even the Senate, are monsters. They're trying to cut $880 million from Medicaid. I mean, so we need to look at this for what this is, man. This is a direct attack on working class Americans, poor Americans. You know what I mean? Everybody who's not wealthy in this country. Let's not let these people fool us. You got Josh Hawley coming out like, hey, I'm not voting for this because it's making severe cuts to, basically to social programs, especially Medicaid, Medicare. He's admitting this is a Republican. This is like one of the top Republicans in the House. This guy was a potential presidential candidate years back. He
has to think about his political future, because at the end of the day, Donald Trump's he's either gonna leave after 4 years, which I doubt. I put money on it with West. He ain't leaving. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple people saying that. Either that, he's going to die in office. And when he dies, it's going to go back to politics as normal. You know what I'm saying? Or as it used to be.
I don't see how that can happen.
I mean, it can't, but think about it. They have to look at their political selves and be like, yo, how much damage did I do to my constituents and to my country to where I can actually run? But yeah, no, we're never going to be normal again. We are run by full-blown rich white supremacists. So some people are white supremacists and some are greedy billionaires.
Europeans.
And you're attacking the poorest of the poor because you've kept them poor. But the whole thing is they've been allowed to stay poor because both parties have done nothing really to stop all this from happening.
I mean, I feel like, at the end of the day,
Democrats run a good game. They talk a good game, but they don't run it.
This is going to affect people from all walks of life, every race, color, creed, everything that we have going on. Everyone's going to be affected by this. This isn't going to fully discriminate. It's going to discriminate because of the social economic problems that we've had in this country for hundreds of years since the founding of this country. Is going to show a very severe discrimination in those numbers, because that's what that is. But it's not going to discriminate when it comes to who it's cutting off. And it's going to cut off a lot of people who were the same ones voting for Trump, saying what he's going to do for them. $880 billion is a lot of money, man, especially to cut from programs that we need. I mean, what do you think they're going to attack next? Social Security? Of course they have to, man. There's no way they're trying to get this law passed with reconciliation. What reconciliation is it means that they can pass it without like a 2/3 vote or a 60 filibuster proof majority type of a bill. Filibuster is like when you got to get 60 votes in the Senate because it's 100 senators. So instead of getting 51 votes, you got to get 60 or more votes when you want to pass something that costs you money. That's going to actually cost the government money pass over the budget. That's what you have to kind of go and do, is a thing called reconciliation, where you make it look like over a 10-year period or whatever, it'll actually even out. Your cuts that you'll make in the government will even out to what it's going to cost you.
But it's not going to.
It's not going to.
There's not enough cuts they can make to even counteract how much money these rich folks.
This is what Doge was here for. And I'm not trying to cut you. This is the reason why Doge came along. Yeah, it was to also get rid of USAID, things that they felt like, you know what, these are helping people, but also are helping people who are very, liberal type voter type people. Yeah, it was great for them to cut all these jobs and stuff. But what they're really trying to do is show enough cuts to where they can get this bill passed to reconciliation, because they can say, hey, look, we cut $2.2 trillion. That's what they're trying to cut, $2 trillion with Doge. This is why they're trying to do that. This is why they're trying to take $880 billion from here.
Because they're trying to justify it. But the whole thing is, It's going to add $26 trillion. Think about it. $26 trillion to the debt that's going to go into the pocket of rich people out of your pocket. And you got people, you got the dude in Missouri. He's I think he's a senator. He's coming out. He's like, the taxpayers, the people in Missouri need to explain to me why the tax money needs to go to their Medicaid. Like, I heard that. I'm like, are you serious? It's your money. I mean, it's not your money because they take it from you. Think about it. These politicians take your money. Your tax money is their money to play around with.
I mean, that's what we've given them. That's the guy came out and said, the purse strings of America were voted. We were voted to handle the money of America. Pretty much, that's what Congressman said. And what we also need to remember is that when they talk about kicking things back to the state, they're not talking about, let the state deal with it. They're like, okay, the federal government pays 40% of all SNAP benefits throughout the country, right? They're talking about sending that for other money, 40% instead of them paying. Let your state figure out how to pay for it. Your state can barely figure out how to pay for the roads and all the schools and stuff that they got going on in their state now. Most of them are barely making budget at this point in time. You think they're going to be able to take on all those hundreds of billions of dollars when it comes to Social Security, SNAPs, and everything? They're going to have to cut things. And it's going to be cut, and it's going to make it look like, the federal government didn't do it. We just sent it back to the states to let them deal with it. That's what he means. He doesn't mean to let them figure out a better way to do it, and the federal government still helps out. No, he's talking about, hey, you know what? No, you states deal with your own problems one at a time, and let us federal government, we keep our money, because then he can take that money back and do what with it? Make it look like a savings so he can pass his reconciliation, so he can pass his $4.5 trillion tax cut for him and his buddies.
And they strategically placed it on the next administration's back. So by the time it kicks in, it'll be 2029, 2020, 2030. And, if you get lucky, Donald Trump won't be around, even though he's going to stick around. But it's so if, you're going to be tired of it, it's going to be a Democratic Congress or, presidency. And they're going to be like, look at all these taxes. They're so high. Look, it was better under us because they put it on to the next administration so they won't have to deal with it.